Record. All right, we are recording. It is 9 o'clock, so we're going to get started. And then if other people jump in, then they can just jump on whenever. I said it a second ago, and I'll say it again. If you have questions, then use your chat down at the bottom, and that will pop up on our screens, and we'll all be able to see it. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and ask the question at any time, but preferably maybe jot down questions that don't exactly relate to exactly what we're talking about, and we will go over questions at the end, because I think this is going to be about 20 minutes or so, and then I'll open it up to questions after that. So raise your hand so I know if you have watched. I'm going to scroll through and see who's going to say yes. If you have watched the Wendy Larson 20-minute product video. Liza, I know you have, girl. I've watched it 7 times at least. I saw a couple of, okay, Virginia's watched it. Okay. I think Mitzi just raised her hand. She's watched it. So a couple of you have. Most of you have not. And that's totally fine. I will tell you, it is incredible. It's on my team page. It is probably the very best product video I have ever watched. And I watched it again today, and I've seriously watched it at least 7 or 8 times. Watched it again today and wanted to go through some of the information she gives, simply because it is honestly the best information to have in your brain to be able to decipher which products are going to help with which issues. At the end, I'll actually pull up the image that I used for this training, and we can go through and see if we've kind of gone over every single issue. But she breaks it down so beautifully and explains why the different products actually help with the different issues, and why so many issues kind of globally are all helped by the same products. So she talks about that chronic illnesses are caused by stress on our body. And stress is really toxic to our body. And I know we think of stress a lot of times as people put stress on us, our work puts stress on us, whatever. But stress is actually kind of different than that. That can be a portion of stress, but we can actually have stress that we put on ourselves in our body, and it stresses our body. It stresses our organs. It is beyond the emotional and physical stress. So 3 ways that you can remove or deal with chronic illnesses are to remove stress from the body, to heal your gut, and to absorb better nutrients. And so she actually talks about the fact that she had Lyme disease, and she got very violently ill for many years. And so she decided to go in and go back to school because she was so ill. She figured the only thing she could do is learn everything she could about holistic nutrition. And with that knowledge, she was going to kind of heal herself. She was going to figure out what she could eat and what she could do to heal herself. And so it was ironic that at the same time she was going through this degree, this program, she also found out about Plexus from a friend. And so she said, at first she's like, I don't need weight loss. That's not for me. And then the girlfriend said, listen, you've got to really research this because you're totally missing the mark here. This is way beyond just being about weight loss. And so she started to look at it, and then she realized that Plexus actually helps with removing stress from the body. It helps with healing the gut, and it helps with bringing nutrients into the body. And so starting with number 1, removing stress. Stress is caused on our body when our blood sugar is imbalanced. And that does not mean you have high blood sugar or low blood sugar, that you're diabetic or you're hypoglycemic. But every single person's blood sugar goes up and down, up and down, up and down, spikes all day. And so that imbalance in your body causes stress on your organs and stress on your body. Going with the blood sugar is your adrenal glands. And your adrenal glands affect hormones and affect cortisol levels. And all of your insulin and cortisol have to be balanced. And so when your insulin is all over the place, then your cortisol ends up all over the place. They're not balanced out. And so she talks a lot about the fact that if you use the Plexus Slim, our pink drink, to balance your blood sugar, then that helps to reduce the stress that the blood sugar imbalance puts on your body. It helps to reduce the stress on your adrenal glands, and it helps to reduce stress on your cortisol levels. All of that just kind of smooths out and balances out. It takes a huge amount of stress off your body. She says sugar cravings are a huge stressor to your body. And so I think we're all ladies on this call, but I know all the ladies on this call can probably relate to the fact that we have some major sugar cravings as women. And so I know I've had huge problems with sugar cravings. And the sugar that you consume puts stress on the inside of your body, your organs, the way everything moves. So again, Plexus Slim is helping you in balancing out those sugar cravings. Most people find that within a few days to a few weeks with the Plexus Slim that their sugar cravings are diminished, their soda cravings are diminished, and it kind of it calms them a little bit. They have the edge taken off. And I know that I've said it and others have said it, that as moms, a lot of us don't feel like we're as snappy. We don't feel like we're quite as snappy with our husbands or, whatever. And that you just kind of have a little bit of that edge taken off. And that's the sugar cravings and the adrenal and everything getting balanced out. And another huge stress on our bodies is caffeine. And she talks about the fact that caffeine is it puts stress on your body when you have too much caffeine or have a lot of caffeine. And that for many people, the Plexus Slim, again, helps to reduce their desire for coffee and helps to reduce their desire for sugars and for sodas and stuff like that have caffeine in them. So the pink drink, our Plexus Slim, is helping in multiple different ways in reducing stress in our body. So it was helping with the blood sugar imbalances, the adrenals, the cortisol, the sugar cravings, and the caffeine, which are major stressors on the body. She also talks about the fact that, chronic illnesses many times are things like lupus, MS, the tick-borne illnesses. She also talks about low blood pressure, low body temperature, cholesterol, blood pressure issues, high and low, lipid levels. All of those things are indicators that your body has stress. So if you, I found it really interesting. She said, if you have low blood pressure and low body temperature, those are an indicator that your body is fighting within itself and you have levels of stress in your body, which now looking back is not a surprise, but I've lived since I was like 15. My normal was low blood pressure and my normal was a low body temperature. If I had a normal temperature, it was 97.4, 97.5. When I had 98 something, I had a fever. There was something wrong with me. Now my body temperature is normal. It's 98.6 every time I take it. If I take my kids, I take mine to make sure the thermometer's working properly and mine's normal again. But that was an indicator that I had stress going on in my body. So low blood pressure, low body temperature, sleeping badly, cholesterol, blood pressure, and lipid levels. All of those things being out of whack are indicators that you have stress in your body. I definitely have notes, so hold tight. I'm turning my page. Gut health is our number 2 thing that we need to take care of. So we take care of our blood sugar, we take care of the stress in our body. The number 2 thing is our gut health. And I hope by now you guys know some of this for sure. Probio 5 and BioCleanse are incredible for your gut health. Your Probio 5 is not just any normal probiotic. It has 5 different amazing bacteria in it, but beyond that, it has enzymes that are helping with digestion, and it has an antifungal in it. And the antifungal is going to attack the fungus and the candida that's in your body. She talks about it like this, which I thought was really cool. She says your gut is an ecosystem. So if you think of a pond as an ecosystem, the pond has to have movement, it has to have fresh water, it has to have algae, and it has to have oxygen, and the fish are producing oxygen and blah, blah, blah. Just this whole ecosystem. I don't know what plant ecosystems, pond ecosystems really are, but there's just all these different moving parts. And when things stop moving, what happens? When the fish die off and you don't have enough oxygen in the water and the water becomes stagnant and it's not moving and flowing, then you get this crud, this film of yuck on the top of the pond, right? Well, our body is the same way. Our gut is an ecosystem, and when the ecosystem gets all mucked up, then we get this film that just covers our entire gut, and that's our candida, fungus, and yeast. And not only is it a problem because it makes you sick, but it's also a problem because it helps to, because it doesn't help, it deters you being able to get nutrients into your body. Because if you think about that fungus lying all across your colon and your GI system, there's no way for nutrients to get through it. It actually has a hard shell. Candida yeast has a very hard shell that blocks you being able to get nutrients through it into your body. So your gut health is huge, a major problem, and that's why our ProBio 5 and our BioCleanse work together really, really well. They break down that Candida yeast, they replenish all that healthy bacteria in your gut, and she talks in huge ways about how not only we really need that ProBio, but we have to have the BioCleanse with it. And she says every single person who takes ProBio needs the BioCleanse because there are enzymes in the probiotic that actually work better with the BioCleanse because of the magnesium in the BioCleanse. So the magnesium in BioCleanse, like 90% of people in America are deficient in magnesium. Magnesium is huge for helping with, I thought that was off, sorry, gallbladder issues, migraines, restless leg, IBS, when you have a racing heart, and there was a whole list of things, but those were the biggest ones. Lots of people who have missing gallbladders or have liver problems are having problems that have to do with the enzymes that the ProBio 5 is going to help with. But the only way you get the full absorption of those enzymes is when you have the BioCleanse as well, because the magnesium and the enzymes work together. So essentially what we want to be telling people is if you're taking the ProBio 5, you need the BioCleanse as well. I tell people, you don't want to gather all the trash in the house and put it in the bin in the middle of your kitchen and not take it out. You know what I mean? Like, it's great that we cleaned up the house. It's great that we clean up our GI system. But if we leave the trash, all those toxins in our body and don't grab them and flush them out, then we're going to have problems. So ProBio 5 and BioCleanse are meant to go together. And the BioCleanse specifically helps with migraines, restless leg, IBS, and racing heart. So if somebody, actually that Jennifer Rice she's a nurse practitioner, and she has a great testimony about how her heart was always racing, even when she was just sitting, that she just had this constant racing heart, almost like she had anxiety, but she didn't. It was just her heart was constantly racing. She started on the Triplex, and that totally went away within, weeks. It was crazy. Every cell in our entire body needs magnesium, which is crazy. And so BioCleanse is huge. Even when people tell you, oh, I go to the bathroom fine. Oh, I go to the bathroom twice a day, whatever it is, they still potentially need the BioCleanse because 90% of people are deficient in magnesium. I thought it was really interesting that IBS is helped with the BioCleanse. When you typically think of IBS as something where someone has chronic diarrhea, perhaps, and you're thinking of giving someone more magnesium, something that's going to make them go to the bathroom more. But actually, she talks about the fact that IBS is cramping of the GI tract. And so it actually releases that cramping. It helps to stop that cramping, just like restless leg is cramping and irritation in your legs. The IBS is cramping in your colon and in your GI tract. So I thought that was pretty cool. So right there you can see that we're eliminating stress with our Plexus Slim, and then our ProBio 5 and our BioCleanse are helping in enormous ways with getting our gut healthy. The last thing she talks about is the X factor. Because remember, we were talking about stress, we're talking about gut health, and then we're talking about absorption of nutrients. And if you don't have good gut health, it doesn't matter how much you're consuming in healthy fruits, vegetables, meats, whatever it is, you're not going to absorb it. Because remember, we're talking about that shell that's over our whole GI tract. You literally cannot absorb the nutrients you're taking in if you don't get your gut healthy. The X factor, once we've gotten that triplex type stuff going on, once we've got our stress reduced and we're working on our gut health, the X factor is a huge help with nutrition and nourishment. And the main reason is because of the aloe that's in it. It's a powerhouse. It helps you to absorb not only the actual vitamin, but it helps you to absorb everything you consume in a greater quantity. That aloe actually goes throughout your body and helps you to absorb everything that you're taking in. So if you are eating properly and eating healthy foods, then you're actually absorbing more of the nutrients from those when you're on the X factor, which is pretty cool. She talks about the New Zealand black currant that's in our X factor, along with the aloe. The aloe is helping with the absorption. The New Zealand black currant, she just talks about the fact that everybody should Google and read about New Zealand black currant. It is super high in potassium, and it is super high in iron. There are many people who are iron deficient and anemic and get blood transfusions blood transfusions because of their iron deficiency, who don't have those issues anymore once they clean out their gut and can absorb the X factor. Somebody couldn't just take the X factor and expect that to happen because we don't know what their gut looks like. And for most people, it looks bad. But if you get that triplex going on, clean out your gut, take the X factor, then you're absorbing all that iron. And a lot of people are able to get off the blood transfusions and are not anemic anymore, which is really cool. She talks about how aloe drives nutrients to all the cells that are deficient, and how, in her words, that God designed the aloe plant to work with our bodies. And that actually, if you research plants, God designed every plant to work properly with our bodies. And so many different plants have amazing health benefits for us because they were designed specifically for that. So the aloe actually drives nutrients to the cells that are specifically deficient, which just blows my mind. I can't even fathom how that works. I'm not even going to pretend I'm an accountant. I don't understand it, but I'm just going to take it from a lady who knows what she's talking about. Okay, last one I wanted to talk about is fast relief. She says every single person who has an autoimmune disorder of any kind, the fast relief is going to help them with their issues. Not only is it because it reduces pain, which it does, but also because there are enzymes in it that are actually help with the actual immune disorders. But also there are all these different proteins that get loose in your body that aren't supposed to be there. And there are specific ingredients in the fast relief that go find those extra proteins that are in your body and break them down. She gives some specific examples, but there was one talking about if you have muscle aches, that's actually a buildup, or joint aches, that's actually a buildup of proteins where they don't belong, and that the fast relief goes in and just grabs those proteins and kind of dissolves them or takes them away. I don't know how exactly. Again, I'm an accountant, but it does. It takes away those, it breaks down those extra proteins. And so when you know people who are having a lot of muscle aches or having joint aches, for any reason, whether it's chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, whether it's arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, all those types of things are the joints and the muscles being overfilled with these proteins. And so the proteins get broken down by the fast relief, which I thought the fast relief capsules is what we're talking about. So I thought that was really cool. Let me look real quick. Let me show you. Let's share screen. Of course, I don't know how to use my computer, so hold on. Maybe I have to pull it up and then I can share screen. Let's see. I'm going to show, yeah, here it is. Okay, so here's our image that we started with. So high blood pressure, we're talking about the slim. Chronic fatigue is definitely, you guys should really be answering this, not me. Chronic fatigue is going to be really the triplex and then the fast relief as well. Diabetes is your triplex, but certainly your plexus slim. Autoimmune diseases are going to be your triplex, and then your fast relief can definitely help as well. Lupus is an autoimmune disease, so it's the same idea. If you're underweight, Underweight is that same idea where you're talking about stress on the body and gut health and nutrients. And so that's just screaming the triplex, y'all. And then the X factor, if people will do that. But the triplex is huge for getting rid of that stress and getting that gut healthy, which honestly helps with, I swear, almost every single thing on here is the triplex. If you're overweight, again, the triplex is going to help balance out your body. Allergies is a gut health issue. That's a candida yeast issue. If you have never researched what candida yeast does to your body, just Google candida yeast symptoms, candida yeast die-off symptoms, anything like that, and you're going to be able to read more about what candida yeast does. But it just kind of gets all this nasty funk out in your bloodstream and out in your body, and it causes crazy allergies, asthma, all kinds of issues. Acne is a candida yeast triplex issue. If you have a low immune system like she did, that's, again, the triplex. It's just going through this whole thing, dealing with the stress on the body and dealing with the gut health so that you can get proper nutrition. IBS, real big on the magnesium and the BioCleanse, but that's a triplex. Reflux, same thing, triplex. High cholesterol, your Slim's going to help with that. I have friends who are on just the Slim for the high cholesterol, but hardly anybody just has high cholesterol. You know, like my husband, he might have said, oh, well, I just want to deal with my high cholesterol, but he had all kinds of other issues that were kind of underlying. And so she talks about the fact that the cholesterol and the lipids, remember, those are kind of things that are showing you, the red flags. They're showing you you've got issues. Sugar addiction was that stressor on the body. Triplex is going to help with that. Fibromyalgia is another autoimmune disease. The migraines was the BioCleanse, but specifically the triplex. Low body temperature was another stressor red flag, where you're talking the triplex. And exhaustion and fatigue are the triplex as well. And mainly, again, that's a candida overgrowth issue. So gosh, it's crazy. I mean, I was going through this, and I didn't, when I made these, I didn't really think like, I'm just going to put everything on here the triplex can fix. I really didn't. But honestly, I mean, there's hardly a person that I don't put straight on the triplex, simply because it is so amazing. See, when I go to that, I can't see these, so thank you. Simply because it is that amazing, and it does help with so much. Are you talking about the ease or the fast relief? Oh yeah, see, when she did this video, it was still called fast relief. So no, I'm talking about the ease capsules. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thanks, Virginia. Exactly, yeah, the video was made before the name changed. So when I took notes today, I did not remember that. So yes, these are ease capsules. Hypothyroidism, yeah, any kind of thyroid issue is the triplex for sure. And then the I can't read that and think. So every kind of, all of the thyroid issues are the triplex. Plus, people get a lot of benefit if they are sluggish from the X Factor vitamins as well. I know a bunch of people, because it is super high in B vitamins and multiple different B vitamins, that people get a lot of benefit out of adding in the X Factor with their triplex. But hypo and hyperthyroidism are both autoimmune diseases. Your body's attacking your thyroid, and it's either going way out of whack high or way out of whack low. But again, that goes back to the stress and the gut health, and then getting proper nutrition. But when I have anybody with thyroid issues, I try to get them on the triplex plus the X Factor for sure, every time. All right, just wanted to clarify for the new people. Thank you, Liza. I never know what to recommend, Boost or Accelerator? Yes. Okay, so I put out a file the other day about Boost and Accelerator, but it is worth always talking about again. But if you want to go read in detail, go read the file that is out on our team page. But here's what I do. I say to someone, if you like to work out, then Boost might be good for you. They're both very similar in what they're going to work on, and what they were created for. They were created to help you boost your metabolism and speed up weight loss, but they do not work in the same way. They have different properties. They have different ingredients. The boost, I find more people tell me they're shaky on it or feel jittery if they don't go move, like truly go work out or exercise or do something with that extra energy it's going to give you. Where the accelerator, more people can take that and just go sit at a desk job, or more people can take that and just live a normal daily routine and not feel like that antsy, jittery. With either one, they have caffeine in them. You need to tell people to reduce the caffeine they take in the morning. With either one of them, you need to tell people to take them with breakfast, take them with a protein in their breakfast, and also to start with one and then work their way up to two. Yeah, the boost has a bigger appetite suppressant, and the accelerator has the 5-HTP, which helps with anxiety and depression. So they do have some differences, but I have friends who didn't really need energy who take the accelerator just for the 5-HTP and just want it for that reason, that they just want the extra help with the antidepressant. And then Matt, my husband, took the boost for a while for the appetite suppressant, but really he prefers accelerator over boost, but everybody's different. And I don't really have many people who take either, to be honest. I try to get everybody to do the Triplex first and see how they do for 60 to 90 days, and then see if they need to or want to add that in. A lot of people can really do very well without it and start to feel a lot better and get out and moving. And then, I say, okay, you could consider adding this in. Okay, so it says Tina has her hand raised, but I don't know what that means. Do you know how to chat or unmute yourself? I can unmute you if I can find you. Hey, Tina, can you hear me? Oh, you might not have a speaker. All right, if you can chat, grab the little thing in the bottom and you can type and everybody will be able to see your question. Y'all can unmute yourselves or you can ask more questions in the chat. Liza, is there anything you want to add?
No, I think you covered it all.
Nice.
Nice. Though the thing about the antidepressants.
Yeah.
So everything I've read or heard, you should not be on antidepressants and take the accelerator though. Have you heard the same or not?
I cannot say I've heard that. I'm not saying that's not true. But I do know multiple people who have been on both with the goal of getting off of their antidepressants.
Okay.
So, but certainly, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just heard that because of the 5-HTP, and then you're going to be getting double serotonin.
Right, so, and it is going to, it's something that if you're going to do that, you should be with the goal of getting off your other product, whatever it is you're taking for an antidepressant. And if somebody is working on that, I always just tell people to, ask your doctor, or if you're planning on weaning off any medicine, you should probably ask your doctor about that. But yeah, you're going to be getting double, is it serotonin you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, but no, I know a lot of people who have taken the accelerator and then gotten off their antidepressants. I don't know that they got off the antidepressants to take the accelerator, but have them talk to their doctors for sure. Hi, Ella. I don't see you. Who else has questions?
I do, one quick one.
Okay, go for it. Is that Virginia?
Yeah. We just I was seeing posts about the ProBio and Mega X together.
Yes.
Is that when people are taking them exactly at the same time? I love I've been kind of mixing it up since I added the Mega X. I'm taking BioCleanse at different times or ProBio at different times. Should you take Mega X at bedtime? Is there a specific time to take it, or it just doesn't matter?
I have heard it makes a lot of people tired, And so I think that's the reason that people are taking it at bedtime. It helps because with the relaxation and the kind of calming, that it's a great way to kind of go off to sleep. So when you see the images that say the ProBio 5 and the Mega X together, my understanding from everybody I've talked to is that literally they are taking both of those products together at bedtime. I take one Mega X and I take 3 ProBio every night right before I go to bed. And seriously, since I've started, like, it is crazy. I sleep like a dead rock, like crazy. I do not wake up from anything, which I used to sleep really well, but I'd still get up to pee or something, in the middle of the night. I don't, like, I literally hear nothing until the morning. It's crazy.
When do you
I
take
can't tell right now if the going to bed thing solidly is because I'm just not sleeping through the night every night. But I really feel like it's made a good difference. But anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who just had a question? I heard something.
Me. Can you hear me?
I can, but who's me? Oh, Tammy.
Yes.
Hey, girl.
When do you take the bio cleanse? Because I've heard people that take it in the morning, and then I've heard people that take it when they go to bed at night. So
there are both camps. I do better with it personally by taking it at bedtime, and then, if you have to know, I wake up and I go every morning. But when I've tried to take it during the day, A, I forget, and B, I didn't go as regularly. But then there are other people who absolutely do not take it at night. It gives some people, my daughter, it gives them energy. And so it has oxygen in it, and the oxygen, when it gets going in your body, can give you energy. And so because of that, some people do much better taking it during the day, in between meals, either in between breakfast and lunch or in between lunch and dinner. And then, you just have to play around with BioCleanse. You can take up to 6 a day, but a typical bottle comes with 4 a day. I take 2, go every single day. I'm good, got my little check mark. I do not take more than 2. Some people need to take 3 or 4, break them up different times of the day. Some people need to take 6. You just have to you kind of have to tell people, what I try to tell people is, you've got to figure out when and how much you need to go regularly, once or twice a day, every day.
how long do you tell them? Like, my mom is taking them.
Yeah.
And I tell her she needs to be regular for several days before she drops down the dosage. Is that a fair assessment or not?
Yeah, I don't know that I would drop down my dosage once I found what kept me regular. You know what I mean? If I were going to the bathroom too much, then I would drop down my dosage. But, I can't remember which diamond it is, but there's a diamond who says, it's just one of these like things that stuck with my head. If you eat 3 meals a day, if 3 go in, 3 go out. So I guess technically we're supposed to go 3 times a day. That's really just too much for me. I can't deal with all that. So I'm happy with 1 or 2. That's where my BioCleanse is. But y'all got to figure out what works for you.
Do you take all 3 of those at bedtime then? Your ProBio, your Mega X, and the BioCleanse at night?
Yep.
Okay.
I take them all at once. Yeah. But not everybody does. Lots of people take the BioCleanse during the day. So one isn't right or wrong.
I take 2 in the morning with my Slim, and then 2 at bedtime with the probiotic. And there's magnesium in the BioCleanse, so for some people that really helps to relax them, because magnesium can help you sleep, and it relaxes you. And it's also helped with my restless leg that I get terrible at night. So since taking that, I never have restless leg anymore.
Okay. Thank you.
I start most people and tell them take 2 ProBio and 2 BioCleanse every night at bedtime. But then I kind of add a caveat: if something bothers you, if it's keeping you awake, if you're not going to the bathroom, then play around with it. But that's because it works for me. That's a good starting point for me to help somebody else.
Okay.
Oh, Tina, I can see you raised your hand again, girl, but I don't know what you're asking. Mitzi, you got to find out what Tina wants. Anybody else have a question? Nothing? Let me see if I can find Tina. Tina, do you see where the chat is, where you can type what your question is? Sorry, girl. All right, last call. Questions? Awesome. Okay. Well, then that's it. Thanks for joining us. Glad to have y'all. Don't forget that we have the opportunity calls every Wednesday night. So in 2 nights at 9 o'clock Eastern, again, we're going to have the same link. You just send somebody on and tell them to join on here, and we'll have live testimonies, product and business testimonies, and they can be on by telephone or they can be on by Zoom like you guys are now, whatever works for them, and we'll all get together and we will do a presentation super quick, 30 minutes, and we are done. So invite anybody that you know who might be interested in the products or the business to join us on Wednesday nights. Thanks, y'all. Have a good night. Bye.